What the fuck is happening, fam? It is your boy, the Sultan of Sativa, the Ayatollah of Indica, aka the Bobby Fischer BHO, aka Dwight Durbin, aka President of the United States of America, Donald Blunt, aka Johnny Hash, aka Ned Sparks, aka Cal Ripken, aka fucking Ned Sparks, aka Willie the Cool Penguin. I might have said both of those already, aka Lord Bongtimore. And welcome to a brand spanking new episode. Let's fucking talk about it. And I'm here. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is your last time, welcome. If this is any time in between, welcome. You know, I'm going through it. I'm making a big decision. I'm looking at my browsers and between Safari, DuckDuckGo, Brave. I have way too many tabs open. Way too many tabs. I don't know who else can relate, but some of those tabs have been in there since 2021 when I got the phone. I mean, I am far past I need each individual new iPhone when they come out. That is not the move. I can assure you that I do not care at all about that. But these tabs, oh my God, there's so many of them. And some of them I'm sure I've talked about and never deleted. But I'm going to fucking go through them. And I wanted to do this a long time ago, and I totally forgot. And I figured it'd be a good way to. I was like, no, I've had all this shit going on in my personal life that, you know, some of it I'm causing myself. It's my own shit and my own problems. No, that's fine. I can hold myself accountable to that. And I'm taking shit one day at a time in all regards. And really finding myself in a place of just like wanting to run wild and like also not wanting to be around anyone, and like really going through in my head and wondering like, damn, where do I even meet women? Like, I don't go to bars. You know, I'm thinking about going to a bar, maybe like I'm up in PA, baby, Pennsylvania, and I'm even thinking about hitting like finding a country bar, you know. I mean, what do I want? You know, I want some fairly conservative woman. I mean, these right-wing women are definitely much more likely to be on the same page in the conspiracy-minded realm these days. You know, it's like pretty much any woman that classifies herself as a leftist, I just think is retarded or is like all about on their commie shit. And I know that's like propaganda working on me or whatever. It is. But at the same time, the shit these people do sometimes just doesn't make any sense to me. And I couldn't even feign at 36 years old trying to like be on a date and pretend that I could sit through a conversation about some of the shit I believe he would want to talk about and not want to blow my fucking brains out. Definitely couldn't last through faking it enough to be able to convince you to have sex with me, because then I don't even know that my pee-pee will work, because I just be like, damn, I just really had to sit and listen to all this crap and fake like I cared. I have no self-respect, ultimately, is what I'm getting at. And I'm really trying to not be that way. There's a part of me that feels lonely. You know, we're coming up on the fall and the winter, and like, damn, it's nice to have somebody that cares about you, but then again, for the last 5 years, I haven't had somebody that cares about me. You know, and I've been on the couch solo dolo, other than like with my cats. Nothing new, really. It's crazy to fucking think about this shit. Think about relationships and where they go wrong and what happens, and you know, where really is the line on what's your fault, what's them being a fucking idiot, how much do you let people get away with? Like, how do you let them treat you? I don't know, because like I feel like honestly, my last two real relationships ended up having a lot of similarities in their personalities. Very different in their looks, for sure, but very different in their personalities. I don't want to say that I should have chosen the girl that I was talking to at the time that I met Audra, because then I wouldn't have any kids. And everyone here knows I love my damn kids. They're my whole fucking. They're the light and beacon in my life outside of my relationship with God. You know, they're really the most important human relationships that I have, without a doubt. It's my responsibility to take care of them. It's my responsibility to fucking be the best version of me that I can be. You know, it's important to think about these kinds of things daily for me. I kind of obsess over it. I don't even know where to go. I've been on the dating app world for a little while now. It's a fucking shit show at 36. Let me tell you. And you know, there's more dating apps now than there was when I last time I was on one. I'm gonna go ahead and let it be known. Hinge sucks. Horrible. I feel like it doesn't really allow for your personality to shine through. I feel like the women that are on there are either fat or we just would have too many things that we don't align on. It just seems overwhelmingly. If I'm making broad generalizations and like sweeping strokes, I'm saying Hinge sucks, dude. Bumble could be tight. There's like elements of it that are really cool, but then again, anyone that matches with me, apparently I don't match with them, or Bumble doesn't show them to me for them to match, and then they get like there's like an expiration on how long before someone that likes you goes away. It's like didn't find them. They also don't give you as many swipes, which I guess is to discourage just like swipe, trying to my old Tinder strategy: swipe everything and then sift through the matches. You know, that's like I feel like that's the professional move. If you guys know a better way, please let me know. But Bumble doesn't allow for that. So it's like I can only get on there every once in a while and like I'll go through like 5 profiles and then like I mean, dude, the dating apps just it seems like there's so many fatties. You know, and I know that's gonna sound mean, and I know some of my listeners are probably overweight, and that's okay, you know? It's not okay, actually. Fuck no, it's not okay. It's your duty to get your fat ass off the couch and start getting after it. Nobody's saying you gotta be fucking Mr. Zoo fucking tomorrow, but like tomorrow, go for a walk. Start there. You know? Take baby steps. And that's with everything that you want to do, especially if you're in the Masters division, i.e., over 30, and you haven't been working out or doing anything for a fucking while, a long while, because you know you're more at risk for injury. You've been maybe out of motion. You know, body at rest stays at rest, right? Body in motion stays in motion. If you've been at rest, well, your body is gonna, you know, wants to stay at rest. That's where the mental acuity comes in. And just I know I'm bouncing around a lot. I'm kind of freestyling right now. I have some things I want to talk about. I'm ready to get into it, but I'm trying to have some fun, man. Too much lately. The podcast has felt like just like a chore, like just something that I'm doing, you know. So, like I said, I want to have fun with it. I want to kind of bring it back a little bit, and you know, it's important. And I think I haven't been having as much fun because I haven't been as rough, rugged, and raw as I normally am. You know, seasons are changing. I mean, this podcast, fucking for better or worse, as slowly as it's been dragging on since like 2019. We're almost to episode 100. Yeah, I need to do some interviews, and I've got some people. I'm trying to get in contact with some people. I want episode 100 to be some fucking dope, but we'll see. We'll see. Excuse me. Um, you know, so Bumble's been pretty mid. Although the caliber of women on Bumble, I feel like there's a lot better options. You know, I gotta admit, man. You know, like I'm really looking. I'm gonna sound like a fucking asshole. Well, let me finish the apps, and I'll tell you kind of my strategy, where I'm at with it right now. And we got Tinder. You know, I used to enjoy the old Tinder. I wish I could get in touch with some of these old Tinderonis, man. Like, I wonder what they're doing. You know, I'm a lover, and so it was like rarely just single encounters. And I want to know what these women are up to, man. I wish if somehow, by the grace of God, you listen to my podcast and we hooked up on off Tinder or anywhere. What the fuck are you up to? Are you married? Do you have any kids? Are you single? Are you looking for any Geminis who enjoy jiu-jitsu and long walks on the beach and hikes and, uh, tacos? Well, get in contact with me. I'm very fucking available. Might have some situationships here and there, but nothing that, can't always be put on the back burner. And that's going to sound really fucked up. But, if you knew the situation with the situationships, you would know that there's some connection, but not quite enough. And there's a valuable role that we can play. And that's where it is. There's an element of me. I mean, it's crazy, man, to think about. Just some of the things that I want, some of the shit that I'm looking for. Really, what it is, I'm willing to tolerate, what I'm not willing to tolerate. Some days I feel like I'm not willing to tolerate shit. The Tinder has been okay to me. Yeah, I just matched with this girl the other night, and she is fine like wine. I'll tell you, she fits right in the category of where I want them. Like, we haven't spoken. She matched me. I don't do my old swipe technique anymore. Now at 36, and again, the women that are on there, it's like I'm doing way more left swiping than right swiping, and I'm actually reading the profiles. Because back in the day, I used to think, oh well, only the women are really going to read the profile. Like I said, I'll sift through the matches. Now I'm a profile reader. Sometimes, it's not every time. If she's fine like wine, it's like, all right, maybe I'll probably put up some of your shit. I know I don't want to, but I will. But I'll tell you what, that convergence divergence where there's an intersection point of like how much shit I'm willing to deal with versus how hot you are, it still is pretty low on the shit I'm willing to take. Because honestly, I've been alone for a long time. Even though I was in a relationship, I feel like I spent day in and day out hurting, and I had to get used to being alone. It's like my ex fucking asked me if I was okay after she moved out. A few months later, I started seeing a chick that I knew that I dated for 4 years back when I was from 17 to 21. And I ignored some red flags for sure. But in those couple months, it was like a long distance thing. I saw her a couple times, but we talked all the time, had a lot of great conversations, shared goals, plans. She fit into the category of like ambitious, entrepreneurial, like definitely, like I said, has some red flags, been through some shit, got some sweet fake tits since we dated. They are great, phenomenal. But when she was like kind of getting her shit together, trying to move back out here, when I told my kid's mom that her and I were seeing each other, and, this girl that I was seeing got like insecure and weird and hit my kid's mom up on Facebook and called her, and even though I told her fucking not to, and that she has no place to do that at this stage of things, like I'm somebody that needs to ease into shit, like I need to feel like I'm skittish. I'm like a feral cat, outside. I want some love and attention, but I'm used to the cold world. Okay. I'm used to the cold world. I've been in it a long time. Far exceeded my years in wisdom from the cold world. And so I'm like a feral cat, like you're not gonna just pet me. You're gonna I'm gonna stick my butt up at you. I'm can be skittish when you reach in. I'm gonna jump back. It just is what it is, man. I'm not like crazy or like untrusting to where I'm trying to go through your phone. I definitely am a believer in like don't go through phones. Anything that you see that could be construed as too much some insecure bullshit. Don't share locations. That's insecure bullshit. Don't do that. Okay. Part of the problem is that we're too fucking connected. Part of the problem is that we're at everyone's beck and call 24/7 with this little fucking device in our pocket. Okay? It's stupid, man. I I used to get so frustrated. My ex would blow me the fuck up. I'd be like, not trying to talk for fucking all day because it's like you're just blowing me up in my fucking ear about anything and everything you can to tell me how miserable you are and try to make me as miserable as you. Um, and it's just absurd. Like, what if this was, I used to always say, I'm like, what if this was like the fucking 1960s, and I was off at my job and you couldn't call me or hear from me until whenever I fucking came home. I worked at a fucking factory. She used to get so mad at that. She's like, well, you fucking don't. Go get a job. She still says shit like that. It's absurd. But yeah, so the dating scene as a 36-year-old who doesn't want, plus that's another thing. I don't want to invest the time into dating someone. That takes away from jiu-jitsu time. I already have 5 minutes that I can spare per week for like a new love interest. Part of the reason that I was with my ex for so long, wishing and praying and fucking trying to make shit work for as long as I fucking did, is because she was already there. She was fucking already there. And I love my family. I'm at a point where I don't know how much she loved me, but that's okay. That's life, dude. I've been really fucking. I'll tell you what. While I have not been going bananas in the dating world, I'll tell you what. Anybody that I have seen, I keep it all the way 100. I can't do any of this lying shit. I'm up front with where I'm at. I'm up front with what my intentions are, what I can and cannot accept, can and cannot handle. And if they can't kind of insert themselves around that, then it's probably not going to be a good thing right now, and that's okay. It's okay. Some people are willing to do that. I've been talking to one little shorty. This woman offered to pay for a trip out of town, out of the fucking country for a couple days. Go to fucking Puerto Rico or Costa Rica, one of those places, or Iceland. Offered to pay for that shit. I'll tell you what, man. This last weekend I ate some B minuses, which is like an albino something or another crossed with the B plus. I had a good couple grams, you know what I'm saying? Good couple grams. Not anything like I was trying to squeegee my third eye open, but I threw some shit on a peanut butter English muffin, chased it down with some ice cold raw milk, threw on my Speedlands, the Cam Hanes, started hammering, boy, 30-pound pack. Went wandering around through these woods. It was tough, bro. And I know, when I like eat a little bit more than a micro, my and I'm doing something physical like that or jujitsu, like at the time when I like really started to feel like this shit was kicking in, man, I was up a steep fucking hill. And I actually saw some wild mushrooms. They were pretty sweet. And I had some good phone calls with the homies, chatted it up, found some water, spent some time praying and meditating just to dive off topic again. And I probably should have fit it in earlier when we were talking about the fats. When I've been going to church for a while now, and a big part of the reason why is because my kid's mom, her grandma, the kid's great grandma, they have a church at their shop, out of like the meeting room or whatever. Nanny wanted them to start going to Sunday school. I was good with that. So Nanny takes them when it's Audra's weekend with the kids. On my weekend, I take them. We make breakfast burritos. We crush it. And then we go to church, and then we go to the church of jiu-jitsu. Play with our friends for a while and train. And at times, if I'm being honest, it is kind of awkward. I mean, her family is awesome. They're great, but I'm not that close with them because she has made me out to be an animal for many years and intentionally kept me kind of at arm's length in some ways. Now, to be transparent and honest, I was also like not always trying to go to every single function, and I didn't feel like I fit in really, or, and that's on me. I should have made more of an effort if I'm taking ownership for my role in the situation, which I'm not going to say it's anyone else's responsibility to get close to me. It's on me. But there are times where the shit's mad awkward because it's like her and I aren't together. and I'm up here in the town that she's from, and that's fine. I love it up here, to be honest. I'm like really embracing the Pennsylvania culture. You know, I'm gonna be hunting this season. Actually, fact, I gotta go get my bow worked on. I'm gonna do that this week coming up. Hit up my homies over at Macro Tech. Actually, I'm gonna hit up my guy after I'm done with this. And so, it can be mad awkward, but I'm not like a big church guy per se. For me, church is anytime people are taking the scriptures and sharing it with each other and sharing their spiritual beliefs and whatever. Now, I do believe in God, and I would say that my beliefs are definitely more along the Christian line in some ways, but I'm also open to the ideas, that kind of are in some of the paleo-Christian texts, the Gnostic Gospels, right? And to be fair, I don't have all the information. I read the Bible though every day, and I do believe no matter what it is, whether it's the inspired word of God or whatever, there's the old acronym, JIZA baby, Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. There's a lot of knowledge and wisdom to be learned from that book, and all spiritual books for sure. But I think it's a way for my kids to start interacting with God. My belief in God has evolved over 36 years. Growing up Catholic, being in, going through a phase of atheism, but really more of like an agnostic thing. All these fucking labels, man. There's one true God, and the Son of God, and the angels and fucking whatever, right? I believe we're on a fucking spiritual plane anyway, man. There's shit that's bigger than us that's not in the material world, the dense physical, as my man calls it. And so I say all that long-winded shit just to say I think it's important. And I usually take that time to like read scripture and obviously anything that I'm hearing, I'm taking in and I'm listening for other interpretations. I have friends that I talk to about the Bible and God and, stories in the Bible and whatever, man. Like it's been very important to me, especially, the last 6 months, really diving back into some self work and thinking about what it takes to be the best version of myself and how I can approach that. Lately, I've been feeling just as like I'm moving more in a direction, focused on myself, and really kind of shutting the door for now on any sort of possibility of like reconciling my family, which is hard, Again, as a man, I didn't have 3 kids with this woman to not be a family, but she had other plans. Um, I feel like I've done everything that I can. I could do more, but also with the caveat, I would need the same level of effort because I'm not willing to put myself through the type of shit that I went through or my kids. And I know she's not either. And to be fair, in the last year, the man that I've been becoming as a father, as a co-parent, as fucking just a man is tremendous. Like I've made leaps and bounds. And the people close to me comment on it regularly, which is great because I don't always see that, and when you're in your own fucking zone in your own head, as I am all the time, then it can be, you can't always zoom out, especially when you're on the day to day, week to week, month to month, trying to make it another 30 days. And I can't, I can't operate, in a way that isn't focusing on my relationship with God. Reading the Bible, has helped keep things in focus and in perspective. And while as to me, it's like I used to feel so like it's like, oh, this guy talking about God is fucking corny. But you know, I've had a relationship with God for a long time. When I was at my worst, when I was at my best, quote unquote, and when I everywhere in between, man, I need God on my best day just as badly as I do on my worst day. That's a fact. Without that, I mean, I have it right tattooed on my chest or belly. It says, without God, without anything. I was on the family crest of the first Joneses to ever come to America. Let's fucking go, baby. Do you know how many thousands of people it took? How many people got fucking slaughtered? How many people had to fucking scratch, claw, fight, kill, steal, maim, fight their way out of whatever they went through to fucking get to you? I mean, that shit's crazy. You ever think about that? If history is what they say it is, think about how many people it took for you to get from the beginning of time to get down to your fucking parents who fucked in the back of a Volkswagen Beetle, created your fucking dumbass, and you're here jerking off on your phone. Your ancestors hunted saber-toothed tigers, and you're jerking off to your phone. Twitch streaming some video games at 30-something years old. Okay? Not sure where the disconnect is, but we got to move past. So, to get back to the church, sometimes, man, I mean, now what's funny is that it is the side of her family that she does not really get along with a whole lot. Other than her grandparents, obviously. But, like, her dad, who would have guessed? But it's uncomfortable sometimes, man. And then it's a bunch of old people. There's not a ton of people. And then I talked to her cousin's husband today, and he was telling me that they're fucking leaving the church. And he's all right. He's cool, man. He's all right. On Easter, him and I got tight, man, shooting a bunch of guns. I got invited to Easter by her grandma because I've been going to church. Audrey didn't even invite me. Her grandma did. And I fucking went. And I was glad I did because I had a great time. Kids had a great time. I got to fire off some guns. Always great. Hanging out with her dad and stepmom and, her cousins and whatever. It was fun, man. We had a great time shooting these damn shotguns, shooting fucking skate. Pencil Ducky, baby. I was talking to him and he said they're fucking leaving the church. And I was like, damn, that's crazy because I've been thinking about trying to find another church too. And I was actually hitting you up because I wanted to find out about that church, the other church you told me about a little while back at Easter. And he was like, oh yeah, no problem. And he told me about it. He said, this guy is fucking nuts, dude. This guy, he's like giving his sermons at the church with that thing on his hip. He's not playing around, dude. If anyone wants to fuck around in their church, they could find out. This is Pennsylvania, baby. And, I was on their website earlier, and it looks like they have a great kids program, and they break them up by different ages. It's cool, Excuse me. And so he gave me that jump. I gotta look at what time their service is, because, damn, I'm gonna be annoyed if it is any later than the one I already go to. I guess it could be a little bit later, but we just would have to like boogie right away because I don't want to miss the church jiu-jitsu. Sunday is one of my favorite class, man. It's like all rolls, and it's usually like upper belts and then like some blue belts that are mad decent for blue belts. Which, if you didn't know, a blue belt is a white belt whose belt is blue. That's it. That you can actually like fully beat up. Regular white belts, you're supposed to like kind of be nice to them. It's like a thing. But the blue belts, their belt is blue. They're definitely better than the white belts. But it is your duty as an upper belt, or at least a mid belt myself, then it is your duty to smash the blue belts. And that's how they get better, man. They get better when you smash them, okay? It's good for them. It's good for them. It's good for me. When I get smashed, I'm about to post up my rolls with my man Mark. I got fucking smashed. Like it was fucking tough. We had a 23-minute marathon roll. But and another part of here's the thing, dude, and I feel bad, dude. This actually genuinely makes me feel bad. The pastor at the church, nice guy, very kind. His wife is sweet. His kids are awesome. But I've been having to pray about it, dude. I feel like I'm having a problem with the fact that this dude, he knows his shit. He's got a lot of good education, got a lot of good knowledge. But I feel like this guy, I have a problem with the fact that he is pretty overweight. He's one of the fats. Okay. Because for me, the spiritual is very close to how we feel about ourselves, how we feel in our connectedness with everything around us. And, I think that your mental and your spiritual are very closely connected. Your physical and your mental are very close connected. I would say that your physical and your spiritual are very connected. And if you're 50, 60, 80 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, then you are just not connected the way that you should be to your own body, to your own mind, to your own spirit. And I mean, I'm not overweight, and I feel like there's a lot of work that I need to do, and I'm working towards. It's a process. You got to be gentle and patient with yourself, but you got to do it. For some of us, there's more of a sense of urgency than others, but hey, it is what it is. And so, I say all that to be said that I think I'm gonna check out this new church, and I'm trying to kind of disconnect myself a little more from her family, outside of when it's necessary. There might be some functions that I pop up at just to be polite and for the kids, and just as I'm sure she would, my family, if that was the case, right? But I'm not making decisions based around her or fucking her family or any of that, you know. I'll tell you what, though, I have been trying to decide whether or not I should hit up her dad, because he's like Boy Scout troop leader, hunts, super outdoorsy. He's a very good resource for a lot of stuff that I'm trying to like learn about. And he's like an engineer, so his mind works in a way that's different. And my kids have hardly any relationship with him whatsoever. It sucks. And it's not like just my kid's mom's fault. It's his fault and his wife's fault. Everyone has their own blame to be shifted to. I've had my issues with her in the past, and I've had to really fucking pray about some shit in regards to her. And like, I don't know that I'm gonna make amends to her in the like physical sense of like having a conversation part of making an amends, due to the nature of what happened and the fact that I still am not fully over it, in the way that like I still kind of believe that she did this thing. And this thing has caused a rift in my relationship many times because it's gotten brought up many times. Um, and it was a very fucked up situation. And again, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but, I don't have any proof for certain. Like, I could say that I know it was her with pretty fair certainty, but nothing that would be outside of circumstantial. I would have no real physical evidence of her committing this crime. So, I've had to let it go, and I've had to make amends to myself for putting myself in a position believing that this wouldn't happen to me there. But it did. And so I'm not gonna hold on to it. And like I said, I've had to let it go because it was something that was tough to let go of. It was tough to like come to grips, and I held anger and resentment. And then like, my thought process didn't matter, and I got gaslit and some more shit, and like to the point where I just shut the fuck up about it. But like nothing ever got resolved, and like it was hard. When I think about like painful elements of my relationship, that's what I think about. Shit like that. Not being heard, and fucked up shit happening at a family function. But I digress. I don't know if y'all like this. I haven't. The last one I know was kind of personal too. But sometimes you got to remember, man, this is a place where I could be real as fuck. This is a place where I could be myself. And I know that it's a place where most of you listening can feel the same way and connect. and relate to me, and that's why I fuck with y'all and always have and always will, whether I know you or don't. If you ever fucking if you ever see me though, better say what's up. Damn, we are 40 minutes in. I feel like I could close it out right now. Oh, but I don't know how this church switching situation would be. They would probably be going to Sunday school still there when they're with their moms. But if they're with me, maybe we'll go to this new church. Like I said, I think it's important to get the kids to start having a base level understanding and like looking at the Bible, and like down the road, we could talk about all the extra stuff, but this is like a good place to get kind of a framework and a little bit of a moral compass, which I believe we kind of all have. But, I can say that, and mine is totally, like I have horrible Catholic guilt, and I don't even like to say that because then it perpetuates the cycle, but it's kind of like always been a thing. Maybe it's just the fucking stars. Who knows? Maybe, I like to believe though that whatever it is, I can get past it. There's just been a lot to. I think a lot of this is the result of like, dude, I'm 36. I'm going into the fall season of my life here soon, if not now. If the average lifespan in America is 70, I don't know, 4 years old, right? That's like 37. I'm 36. Half of my life, if I live the average life and of an average American, will be after next year. I've heard some shit a couple years ago, and it was like talking about how many summers you have. And it's like, how many have you had? And like, how many do you have left? And it's like, damn. And I used to always think about the summer, and it would come so slow. And then when it came, it fucking went too fast. I was digging around in a box. I think I'm gonna come up with some shit out of these journals that I fucking wrote while I was getting high and thought I was trying to be fake deep, like I want to be Bukowski, Hunter Thompson, fucking sad boy. Like if those dudes were sad, that was like me at 20 and 21 fucking reading this shit. Some of this stuff is fucking hilarious, dude. Put me a little bit of a funk looking at some of it, just thinking about, man, time has passed. Looking at a bunch of pictures from when I was like 17. Damn, those were the fucking days. But to be fair, if I were to look at 27, I would say 27 was the days. And I loved where I was at then. I went through some pain, but I also like went through some massive change. Here I am almost 37. I'll tell you what, this might be the best period of my life yet. And I'm going through some pain, but I'm also growing through some change. And that's fucking it, boy. Like that's what this shit is all about. And I'm approaching life right now with the mindset of like, I need to suffer. I need to get back in a mindset of that of a fucking savage. Because this line of work I'm about to get into with the recovery shit, it's not a game, man. You're talking about people's lives. You got people's lives in your hands. You have a responsibility. And like I want to set the example. And it's been a long time since I fucking shot dope. But I've done a lot of shit and been through a lot of shit and felt the same way that I did, as miserable as I did, for years, like off dope. And some things good, but other things, people, places, things drain my energy. Also putting myself in some less than safe scenarios, we'll say, and that being a problem, and some of this shit is stressful, boy. Like it's been a fucking hard life. And the only thing that's been bringing peace in my relationship with God, which is exactly what the promise is. It ain't gonna bring you fucking easy life. No. Like, it's my job to be grateful every fucking day that I wake up. Look at the sun shining, feel it shine on my fucking skin. Make sure that I express gratitude for my kids by being the best dad I can. Being aware in the moment when I'm being less than the best dad I can. And trying my best to work with my kids and like be patient and kind and practice these things, because really everything is about what we do, and sometimes it's hard to think about that shit. Life is hard. Life can be rough, but a perspective is needed that's going to fucking benefit the kids. That's going to benefit the future generation. And that's where we've been falling off, man. Especially now that I'm really thinking we're in late stage social media. Every app is trying to blend into all the other apps, and, different generations are more active on one than another. And, I mean, shit, even I've been enjoying TikTok more in some ways because, there's less censorship in some ways. I feel like I'm getting more. I don't follow a crazy amount of people, but I feel like I'm getting some more variety in some ways. My personal page, which is a more newer page, is not have a great algorithm yet, but it will, I'm sure. Damn, I'm like trying to decide. I feel like I should do a part 2 to this episode, as I'm 46 minutes in and still have not started any articles. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to split it in half, see how that does. Because sometimes people don't like the super long solos. And that's fine. I get that. But these 3 specific articles, like I said at the beginning, I was going to do 3 articles from my tabs on DuckDuckGo. And I'm going to start closing out tabs. I'm going to find something to do with them. It's like a junk drawer. It's the same principle. Cleaning it out. Cleaning out my junk drawer. Damn, I just hate that I'm not going to be able to record tomorrow. Probably Saturday would be the earliest I can, but then guess what? Sunday, before Patreon call or after, I could drop this episode, part 2, and record another episode. If you haven't, if you're new, go back and listen to some shit, okay? There's almost get ready. Start listening to them, because we're getting ready for episode 100. It's coming soon. I don't know who's going to do it yet, but we're going to do it. It's going to come. It's going to come. For now, Bongtimore out. Part 2. Got 3 dope articles. And accidentally, they all kind of intertwine, and I think they'll fit nicely. So yeah, have a great fucking night, morning, noon, whatever it is, wherever it is that you are at. For now, Bongtimore out.